Good. There is a way of living down here in the South, and we pride ourselves on that, and we don't want to give that up.
And we're trying to get as many people to go to the meeting as possible because I really think the city council has underestimated us.
Yes.
It's because poor policies literally kill people.
So we're just trying to bring awareness because it seems that the city itself, the mayor and the council have not been bringing awareness to their meetings about the possible data center that might be coming in.
Again, we elect people, we put them in office, and when they don't have our best interests at heart, that's unacceptable because you're there to represent your constituents, the people who put you in office, not somebody who has political or financial motivations.
This is Jeremy. I'm out here in Byron, Georgia. And what we're doing today is we're going to talk to these people that are out here protesting this data center they're trying to force on us. There is a city council meeting coming up very soon. Everybody that lives around here should come out to the meeting and show support. Otherwise, they're going to railroad us.
I can't imagine being able to sell my house and somebody wanting to live a mile away from a data center. I worry about the sound pollution. I worry about the light pollution. I worry about the demands on energy, particularly given that the amount of power required to run these data centers is extraordinary. Comparable to thousands of homes. And Georgia Power, I don't think is ready for it. I don't think they care. I think they just want to make as much money as they can, as quickly as they can. I'm also worried about property values decreasing. The water is also a huge issue. Georgia, and this area in particular, runs droughts, and increased demand on the water is not going to help residents at all because they made an effort to keep it under wraps, and they signed the contracts with the corporation buying the property without letting any of us know what the business was, though they knew. They changed the zoning from agricultural to industrial without letting us know why they were doing that, though they knew why they were doing that. It's only been this year that the news is starting to get more traction and people are starting to learn about it. I mean, it's a positive that, yes, this is an issue that's bringing people from both sides of the aisle together. And that's fantastic. I never thought that would happen, but it really is.
And so what it seems like they're doing is setting out for a data center to come sweeping in. They definitely have expressed support for it, and they claim it's because of all the money it's going to bring into the city, but they're not considering the residents that live there. And most people in Byron have no idea this is going on. And it's a beautiful property. It really should be preserved. And there's homes around it. And so when you're talking about, there's a creek that runs through it. When you're talking about building something this massive, now we're talking about all the native plants and creatures that have been there for probably thousands of years, right? We're worried about issues of how it's going to affect people's wells. Georgia Power wants to come in. They're going to have to obviously, up the ability for the data center to come in and use the amount of power that it needs. They're going to have to change their infrastructure. What is that going to mean for everybody? What is it going to mean for their bills? What is it going to mean for the sounds that are coming from it? Because we've had, there's different ways to build a data center, right? And a lot of people have been dealing with issues when they live close by of the noise that goes on 24/7, keeping them awake and just kind of constant hum. I think that he wants the money coming in. Whether it's going to go to the right place or not, I don't know. But it's very condescending to sit there and say that what he's reading is correct and what everybody else is doing with their research is not. Because there's been multiple studies that are being done now, multiple lawsuits that are being done, and you shouldn't treat your own people like they're done. We've had the internet for a long time, so people that are saying, oh, well, you use your phones, we need data centers. We've had data centers for a long time, but they haven't been built the way that they're being built now, these mega sites, right? And so it seems like it's more, and I've heard this before, surveillance-based, maybe defense-based. It's something to do with the government, with how hard they're pushing it. It can't be just for your regular phone every day. And I think that's what this is all about. I don't think this is about being able to ask, AI to make you a grocery list. I think this is a Cold War for AI technology.
Poverty is the result of poor policy. People being overcharged for energy is the result of poor policy. And the only way that we can change policy is through our elected officials, because they're the ones who write the policies. And when they don't write policies that we agree with, we have to hold them accountable. Poor policy is trying to be put in place They're trying to come up with city ordinances for the data center, and it's a matter of poor policy. It is not based on best practice. It's not based on medical standard. It is arbitrarily written, and that will lead to a lower quality of life for people in this area, and that's unacceptable. I'll say this. I am a fan of using AI as a tool. With that being said, that doesn't mean that you have to put data centers on agricultural land. That doesn't mean that you put data centers in the middle of neighborhoods where where the quality of life will be impacted. And so while I do know it is about the safety of our nation and things of that nature, at the same time, there's always money behind it. There's a financial aspect to it, and that's part of the problem. Who's going to pay for the growth? Who's going to pay for the infrastructure required by these data centers? Who's going to pay for you have the telecommunications, the fiber optic lines that are being laid. You have the increase in energy that is required. You have the water. I mean, and so you have consumption, but then again, you also have infrastructure, and who's going to pay for that? There's currently not policy that says growth is going to pay for growth. And so what you have is you have people with record profit passing the cost on to the customers, and we refuse to be silent anymore.
Amen.
They haven't been forthcoming with all the information. Just even in the last city council meeting, it was, oh, I knew about it. And it was, okay, well, did the other council members know? And then it was, oh, I put it in their packet. But you could see them all looking around like, in what packet, and where, and what? And so there's a lot of misinformation. A lot of stuff that's real is being dismissed as propaganda. I don't know. I mean, who benefits from saying that science isn't real and isn't true, right? I can't think of anything other than financial gain that we will just look past the science and look past the people, most importantly.
Why do you think Georgia in particular seems to be targeted by these data center companies?
Number one, because of our land, and number two, because of the access to water, which is agricultural. That is what has made Georgia the great agricultural state. So to take that away from us, again, us Georgians should get to decide that, because the costs are passed on to us. We don't see we aren't reaping the benefits. We aren't reaping the profits. And so the people who are reaping those things are the ones who are making decisions. Meanwhile, us Georgians are like, yeah, but we want our pecans, and we want our peaches, and we want our farms and our animals and our livestock. Listen, it's 100% amazing. Literally, one of the things that I wanted to ask John Lewis, if I ever got to meet him, was, how did Martin Luther King unite people? How did Martin Luther King unite, not just, because his next fight wasn't just about black versus white, it was the rich versus the poor. And that's what the Poor People's Camp, this shirt that I have on, is about, where we move forward together and we don't take one step back.